What is up, boys? We just finished up a fantastic leg workout and some abs, and I don't know if you could tell or even hear, but it is raining a little bit, so apologies if it's affecting the audio. I think it should be fine, but you see, you clicked on this video for a reason, and you know, I don't like to do intros and shit, so we just get straight into it over here. You know, very raw and authentic is what I'm trying to be. But there's external factors in life that we always allow to get to us, and we make it impact our success in a bad way, right? But external factors, you see, yes, they could be negative, but I know people that have every excuse in the world to not show up for themselves, to not be a better version on the other side, right? But the reason why they don't allow these external factors to affect them is because they see the other version of themselves on the other side of all that hard work, right? They see all the success that's able to come from just putting in the work, from putting in the hours, from showing up for themselves, right? And maybe like you can't get into the gym, right? Maybe you have a bad injury, maybe you have chronic pain, right? Yes, that's external factors, and you really have to just know how to work around it, right? There's no excuse to not be in shape, to be honest with you. Like, it's a lot easier than you think, right? And I know it's easier for me to say because, you know, there's nothing wrong with me really, like externally, right? I don't have like chronic pain, I don't have diabetes, I don't have any injuries of some sort, right? But if you do, there's a way to work around all that, right? And you have to seek through it. You have to see the better version of yourself on the other side if you want to, you know, get through those external factors that are affecting you, right? But you know, it's a process, right? Maybe you just have to have a modified workout for that certain issue that you have, or maybe, you know, we could go outside of fitness. We can be like, you know, like external factors like, oh, I don't have a car, I don't have a vehicle to drive to get to point A to point B. Well, obviously you can Uber, or you can get a bike, or you can find a friend to, you know, take you to where you need to be, right? I know there's people on the internet that talk about, like, I don't have a car to go to the gym, but I still go. I walk 2 miles to the gym and I walk 2 miles back to my home, right? Because they want it bad enough. They want to succeed, they want to become better mentally, and even stress is an external factor, right? Maybe there's other things in our lives that are happening. Maybe a loved one passed away, maybe you're going through a breakup, right? You can't allow those external factors to impact you negatively, right? Because the more you allow it to impact you negatively, you are going to be consumed by that external factor, and you will not be able to break through it, right? And I fell through this trap going through my first breakup, right? I allowed it to break me for like a whole 8-10 months. I allowed it to set me back mentally, and I got nowhere, and I just kept following the same rabbit hole of, you know, being depressed and wondering if I was gonna make it work out with her or not, right? But obviously you have to let go of external factors and realize that, like, you can get through the situation and you can't allow it to affect you. You can't allow these things, right? And you can't cope about it. You can't like do things to cope. Like, a lot of us fall into that trap as well of coping, right? And it's not the best way to go about it, man. But I don't even know where I'm going with this, to be honest. I just got out of the gym, wanted to talk about this because you see, external factors, or like maybe small inconveniences in our day, like, oh, there's ice all over my truck, there's snow everywhere, I'm gonna be late to work, I'm gonna be late to my class, I'm gonna be late to the gym. Who cares? You're blessed enough to have a truck to even drive. Just, it's okay if it takes extra time. Odds are everyone's gonna be late in your job. Everyone's gonna have that delay because it snowed overnight, right? And you have to drive slower because the roads are all messed up and they're not paved yet, right? So many things that we allow ourselves to just get mad over and just crash out over, right? Small things like, oh, I dropped an egg on the floor, damn, that's a waste of 90 cents. Well, you have like 10 more eggs in the carton, just use those, right? It's okay, we all make mistakes, and like, you have to learn to like, don't crash out about small shit, bro. It's not even worth it, to be honest. Like, oh, someone cuts you off in the road, oh, someone didn't allow you to go on the green light or the red light, whatever, right? Who cares, right? It's not that deep at the end of the day. It's never that deep. And people, I see all the time and experience it every single day. People crash out and they let the little things get to them. But the more and more you let the little things get to you, the more and more you just kind of feel lost, right? Because you don't see the bigger picture of things. You don't see like where you're going in life. You don't see the success on the other end of all the hard work, all the little inconveniences that may come in life, right? And it's bound to happen, right? It's impossible to escape all these little inconveniences. It's impossible to escape the, all the things that, like, if you could plan the perfect day, there's things in that day that are bound to throw you off course, right? And that is just life. You're gonna get thrown off course, but you need to know how to maneuver through those courses. You need to know how to maneuver through, whatever God throws at you, right? God is gonna throw you curveballs. Life is gonna throw you, some weird ass pitches in life. But like, you have to know how to take the swing when it's time, right? You need to know, like, don't get a strike. You need to know when to not swing, and you need to know when to swing to hit that fucking home run, and to succeed and to move up to that next level. But sorry, my mind is like trying to think. I'm keeping this in the video because we keep it raw and authentic, besides the cuts, because I can only film in 5-minute clips. But so I'm heading back home tomorrow after my finals. I'm gonna hit a nice night lift tomorrow, and yeah. But most of the things that we worry about, most of the things that we stress out about, haven't even happened yet, and we're so stressed out. We're so stressed out about the things that don't happen and we allow it to affect us so negatively. So it makes us feel sad. It makes us feel worried about the future. When in reality, like I said, that shit hasn't even happened yet, right? You need to control what you can control, and God will handle the uncontrollable, right? And life's just gonna happen, and you need to be okay with that. You need to accept what life is. You need to accept what's gonna happen in the future, because there's no way in controlling every single factor of your life. You can control what you put in, right? But you can't control what comes out of it, Like, you can put in all the work you can with content. You can keep posting every single day, but you can't control whether or not the Instagram algorithm or the YouTube algorithm pushes that content to the people that you want, or to push it to a larger audience so that you can blow up and you can, have an impact on people, right? I can't control that. I keep posting though every single day. I've been posting for the last 2 years on my fitness account, right? Obviously I took little breaks in here and there. I even posted, in middle school and high school with my gaming and tech content on TikTok and YouTube and Twitch streams. Like, I put in the work, and like, I didn't see the blow up right away, right? And like, I haven't even blow up yet on Instagram or YouTube, really. But I know if I just keep showing up, if I keep, making content and putting in the work, and just impacting other people, that is all that matters, right? I don't need 1 million followers with complete nobodies that don't even care about me. I'd rather have like a close 5 to 10,000 followers that I can build a community with and like actually impact and like change lives, right? You don't need a big following to make it. You can have a smaller following and you can make something out of it. You just need to know how. You need to, find the right way, find the right mechanisms, find what works for you, find what works with the content, with the algorithm, with your followers, and do that, and focus on, doing the little things right, so that one day the big things will work. And it's a grind, it's a process, and it can get discouraging sometimes. Like last night, man, I was just I low-key felt down, because I was like I feel like I'm not getting the recognition that I deserve sometimes, and like, I know for a fact I'm underrated, and a lot of people are underrated, I'm not the only one. But that's just how the game works around here, and you just have to put in the hours, you have to put in the time and effort, right, to keep making content, to keep doing what you're doing, whatever the hell you may be doing in life. But good things take time. Just recognize that, and You know, don't allow little things to bother you. Don't allow the numbers to worry or to make you feel down. Don't allow the follower count not going up. Don't allow that to don't allow that shit to affect you, man. You need to fall in love with it. If you really love it, man, it's gonna come to you eventually, and that's just how it works, right? If you love it enough, God is gonna make it happen, but in the right time, right? Maybe God doesn't trust you with that amount of followers. Maybe God doesn't trust you with all that money yet. Maybe God doesn't trust you with having all those clients yet, right? It's so many factors and like things you could think of, right? God's gonna let it happen, but not at this moment. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with where you are in life, because that's exactly where you need to be right now. Where you are right now is exactly where you need to be, and you have to be okay with it, and you have to move on, and you have to, you know, keep moving forward, because we're all in the woods at the end of the day, and you need to keep walking. You need to keep walking through the woods and set that fucking forest on fire when it's time to light it, right? But that's all I'm gonna yap about. You know, a little 10-minute video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll cook up some type of videos, some videos over winter break for sure. But yeah, I love you guys. Peace out.